Right, they don't even understand that you don't, you know, the way we grew up, you're supposed to spend no more than 10 or 20% of what you make. You know what I'm saying? So you can have something.
Just being with him everywhere, seeing nice things all the time since I was born. So I always knew that he was doing something. I mean, I don't know, it could have been anything. So I had a fun childhood, crazy childhood.
He was able to do it because, you know, like financially, I was supporting the idea and I believe he could do it. He had moved to California and was working with acting coaches, and his dad didn't know that he was actually doing that. Because
What's the best memory of 50 Cent?
Best memory of 50 Cent? Ever since I met 50 Cent, he's always been stand-up and probably the most truthful person I've ever met.
Lil Meech got Richard Millie's Chrome Hard jeans, 10,000. I buy some Chrome Hards for 10,000? I might wear them shits for a month, bro.
Whoo, hold on to your edges because Big Meech just snapped, and baby, he's coming for 50 Cent like never before. The BMF boss isn't just upset, he's furious, claiming that 50 straight up brainwashed his own son, Little Meech, and turned him against his own blood. Can you believe it? See, it all started when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross right after his prison release, and child, it was messy from the jump. 50 and Meech? Once tight like family, but that brotherhood collapsed real fast the moment photos surfaced of Big Meech getting chummy with Rose. And caught in the crossfire, poor Lil Meech. The boy was trying to keep the peace, tiptoeing around 50 and swearing he was still loyal. But honey, that loyalty didn't last long. Both father and son are now boldly switching teams, and they're shouting it loud. Their new allegiance? Rick Ross. And get this, Floyd Mayweather too. But don't think 50 Cent was just gonna let that slide. Oh no, he clapped back hard, dragging Big Meech parenting skills, accusing him of leading Little Meech down the path of reckless spending and dangerous habits. Whew, the shade was thick. Now the streets are buzzing with whispers that Big Meech and his son are plotting revenge. Word is, they're teaming up with Ross and Floyd to cook up their own version of the BMF show. But baby, fans are already calling it a disaster in the making. Some say Rick Ross and Floyd are about to scam the father-son duo out of the last of their coins. So what exactly is Big Meech planning? And what did 50 Cent really say about Meech as a father?
From the hood to Hollywood that you gotta have, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you getting it. You know what I'm saying? See, people never seen how I really put it down, because unless you were part of that, I'm not gonna let you see that. Only thing you're gonna see is us enjoying ourselves. That's what you spoke.
Oh, you thought Big Meech was done? Not even close. After 50 took jabs at his parenting, saying he's a bad influence on his own son, the OG BMF kingpin is out for blood. See, after 50 dropped hints that BMF might be getting canceled, Lil Meech tried to do some damage control. He messaged 50 personally, saying, F Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. You know me in real life. Oof, desperate much? But 50 wasn't buying it. He hit back with ice in his veins, mocking Little Meek with, "What next season, little ninja?" And if that wasn't savage enough, he threw more salt in the wound by joking, "They'll call Muna Scott for him later today." Yes, 50 really said Lil Meech's next gig would be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The level of pettiness? Olympic gold. And 50 wasn't done dragging. He pulled out receipts, posting old footage of Lil Meech and Rick Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, using it to blast both Ross and Big Meech. He said Ross did nothing for the Flannery family while Meech was locked up. Why old boy didn't look out for Lil Meech and send him to acting school? 50 said, "You come home thinking you the black Pablo Escobar," and whew, him up, shots fired, and then came the killer blow. "I helped your family make over $5 million, 0 cents in legit money. It's not my fault it's all gone now."
And Meech, bro, I don't know. The Meech, I ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response was, "Nigga, fuck you, nigga. Nigga, that's my daddy. Nigga, fuck you, nigga. Nigga, let's go to war. Nigga, fuck you. And everything you, nigga, fuck you." I don't know what Meech was on something. Nigga, that's my paw, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Right, wrong, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Is it my son, nigga? You, nigga, my nigga ain't gonna go against this grain. Fuck that. I was like, damn, you know, like, seemed like him and 50 got a, you know, cause after that thing came out, how Meech was talking all, you know, like, no, nigga, fuck all y'all. I'm with my dad, nigga. I ain't like it.
But when Boozy jumped in to defend Big Meech, oh baby, 50 wasn't having none of it. Boozy called out Lil Meek for being too polite in that text, saying if 50 had ever disrespected his daddy like that, it would have been war. But 50 clapped back hard, saying I did more for Meek than anyone in his life, and he had the receipts. He said he was the first person Lil Meek would call if he got locked up, and he bailed him out every time. Then, in a shocking reveal, 50 claimed he even paid for Lil Meech to go to rehab after discovering he was hooked on whippets, also known as laughing gas. In a post, 50 broke it all down, saying Big Meech couldn't stand how close he'd gotten with Lil Meech behind bars. I think he was uncomfortable with me and Meech's relationship. I'm telling Meech not to blow money, Big Meech telling him it's cool. And when actor Russell Hornsby caught Lil Meech high on set throwing up during a weapons test, 50 said he found whippets in the truck and had to ask, what the F is whippets? Chile. But even with all this, Big Meech and his son doubled down instead of backing off. And now, they're openly aligning with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather? Yes, 50's sworn enemies. Lil Meek popped up in Miami with both men. And to drive the knife in deeper, he posted a photo with them captioned, with real power. Real power. You know that was aimed straight at 50's Power franchise. And just days later, Lil Meek posted a cryptic pic with his dad and Floyd, captioned with a simple shh emoji, teasing something big. The internet went wild with rumors.
Meech and Lil Meech looks like they are officially partners with Floyd Mayweather. Now they're being very tight-lipped about the venture, but my guess is it is going to be big. Floyd Mayweather is a very, very competitive person, and he will pull out all the stops in his attempt to beat 50 Cent.
Now nobody knows exactly what this father-son duo is planning with Floyd and Ross, but honey, you know it's messy. Reports are flying that they're plotting a new BMF project, something totally separate from 50's show on Stars. And guess who spilled the tea? Rick Ross himself. He recently said he wants to produce his own BMF movie. A BMF movie, y'all.
So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino, it's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it. I'm just talking,
But here's where it gets real shady. Apparently, to make that movie happen, Rick Ross would have to go through 50 Cent. Because according to TMZ, 50 still owns the exclusive TV and film rights to the entire BMF story. So even with all the drama, 50's still in control. And baby, he's not letting go anytime soon. His G-Unit film division is already hard at work on a new project, Tammy Cowan's life story, and looking to take the BMF universe even further. Meanwhile, fans are flippin'. Some are dragging Lil Meek for throwing away the opportunity of a lifetime. Others are backing 50 for standing his ground after doing so much for the Flannery family. And the money drama? Just wait.
Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck start hurting. You know, you might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3, just for the pendant. Right here, this is the Antarctica. It's the big boy. This is Christine called it Antarctica. It's the chandelier. So I might have seen DJ Khaled with this song. It's that big boy, you know.
I'm thinking what?
$2 million.
And baby, the money situation, it's downright tragic. Lil Meech reportedly blew through $5 million, 0 cents. Gone. Just like that. On what, you ask? Cars, clothes, ice, designer this, chrome hearts that. Iced out watches worth millions. But guess what? Not a single investment, not even a little rainy day fund. He acted like that BMF bag would never end. According to Tony Yayo, one of 50's OG ride or dies, Lil Meech was out here living like royalty with zero discipline. The boy had the audacity to ask people like Lil Baby to send money to help support Big Meech while simultaneously dropping $100, 0 cents K on a pair of jeans. Yes, $100,000 on J Meech. Chile, the entitlement is wild.
You know, he's still awaiting his case.
Okay.
You know, he's still sitting in jail.
Right.
But recently, I had Day 26 come do my show.
I think I've seen some of that interview, yeah.
Right. So I started talking to him, and, I started talking to Q from Day 26, and he's talking about how, you have sober Diddy, then you have high Diddy. And, you kind of have a different person depending on who you catch on that day. And he starts talking about how he read this one email, and he couldn't go into the details, but it had something to do with sacrifices and so forth. And he started to cry. And then the rest of Day 26 started to cry. Like, that's never happened to me. I've had people cry in my interviews, but I've never seen a whole group of men start to cry at the same time.
I don't get it. I don't know why somebody would do that to.
So you gotta think mentally what them went through over there, the Danity Kings, the Day 26. Cause for making you treating this artist like that, damn, that shit crazy.
But it gets worse. Lil Meech himself admitted that when he first got connected with 50, he was completely lost. No plan, no direction, no acting experience, just vibes. And instead of writing him off, 50 saw potential. He took the boy under his wing and paid for his acting lessons out of his own pocket for 2 years. Let that sink in. 50 Cent believed in Lil Meech. He could have hired a trained actor, someone with credentials, but instead, he gambled on Meech Jr., hoping to create something authentic, a real legacy. And what did he get in return? Betrayal. Straight up betrayal. Now let's be real. After getting the opportunity of a lifetime, you'd think Lil Meek would be extra careful not to fumble it. But no, he lived like the money would never dry up, like someone would always be there to hand him more. And at first, the fans were actually riding for him. They felt bad when 50 cut him off. They said it was wrong to punish the son for the father's messiness. People thought Lil Meek was just caught in the middle. But then, Lil Meek started stunting with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, not quietly either, loud and proud, flexing on 50, throwing subtle jabs, rubbing the whole betrayal in his face. That's when fans turned, quick, because just a few weeks earlier, Meek was swearing loyalty to 50, talking slick about Ross, begging 50 not to believe the hype, and now? He's switching sides like it's a game of musical chairs. And that's not even the shadiest part. Word on the street is Big Meech and his son are trying to launch another BMF project with Ross and Floyd. But legally, there's a massive catch. See, Big Meech doesn't even own his own life story anymore. He sold the rights to Tammy Cowens, the same woman who worked with 50 to bring the original BMF series to Starz. That's right, Tammy holds the keys, not Meech, not Ross, not even Floyd with all his millions. So if they do want to make their own show, they'd have to buy back the rights or go in a completely different direction, which might be tough considering the original BMF saga is already locked down tight. So now people are wondering, is this really a smart business move or just some messy emotional payback that's bound to backfire? Let's not forget, 50 Cent is not someone you play with lightly. This man built his empire off of petty revenge. He'll turn a feud into a full-on franchise. He's strategic, ruthless, and he's got receipts. So what's next? Is Big Meek about to throw away his second chance on a prideful power trip? Is Lil Meech truly out of chances in Hollywood? Will Ross and Floyd actually follow through and help these two? Or are they just stringing them along for clout? One thing's for sure, this BMF drama just hit a whole new level of chaotic. Whew. So let's break it all down. 50 Cent gave Lil Meech the kind of opportunity most people would kill for. He believed in him, invested in him, created a platform that not only honored Big Meech's legacy, but set his son up for life. And how did they repay him? With betrayal, with shady disses, with shady alliance. Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather might be smiling now, but fans are already side-eyeing this whole setup. People think Big Meech is letting pride blind him, and Lil Meech? Folks are saying he might have just destroyed his entire future over ego and clout. And remember, 50 still holds all the cards. The show, the rights, the fan base, the power. So now we gotta ask, did Big Meech just gamble away his legacy? And is Lil Meech the next cautionary tale of what happens when you bite the hand that feeds you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Was 50 Cent right about all of this? Is Meech Sr. really a bad influence? Is the new BMF alliance gonna crash and burn before it even begins? Because if there's one thing we know for sure, in the world of power, money, and loyalty, it's always the ones closest to you that hit the hardest.